My name is Adam Jacoby. I'm the owner of Vice Timepieces here in Miami, Florida, where I was born and raised. I am a high-end luxury watch dealer, and I believe it's a lot deeper than just selling watches. It's about understanding the market, the values, the customers, the stories behind all these pieces, and ultimately being passionate about what I do.
My brother, welcome, bro.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for coming here, my man.
Thank you,
dude.
my
I remember
pleasure.
when I met you the first time, when I came to the jewelry, what's it called?
The Jewelry Exchange in Aventura.
Bro, I walk in, I just moved from Miami. I think I was like 2 weeks in Miami. And I'm like, you know what, let me go see what's up with the jewelry. I was always the watches and shit jewelry. And I Google it, and it's, oh shit, Jewelry Exchange right next door. So let me go see what's up. And I walked in, bro, and I looked to the left. There's this good-looking maniac, bro, behind the counter. I'm like, what the fuck? You were the first one, the last one I went around. My goddamn. And I met your pops, some of your moms. That's when I got my first two chains.
Yeah, the ice chains.
Remember that. Yeah, the ice
gold
chains.
ones, yep.
Yeah, bro. I remember that shit like crazy.
Yeah,
man. Thank you for stopping by, bro. I really
Of course,
appreciate
bro. It's
you
my
and
pleasure.
your time. Before we get into the conversation, we're going to do some rapid-fire questions.
Okay, cool. Let's do it.
No thinking, quick answers.
Ah, shit.
We're going to go crazy, okay? All right, Rolex or AP?
For me, Rolex.
Rolex. Patek or Patek?
I say both, bro, but Patek mostly.
Patek?
Yeah.
How do you say it?
Patek Philippe.
Patek Philippe.
But a lot of people say Patek. It also depends the way you're kind of saying it in the sentence too.
Yeah.
So some people are like, oh, I need to get this Patek, or oh, I just got a Patek Philippe. So it's kind of like how it rolls off the tongue, but.
Bro, I've heard him. Patek, Patek. I'm like, you know what, man? I got a king of watches coming to me. I'm like, I gotta know how to say this shit. Bro.
I
So
hear
like, you know
both.
what? I'm gonna put it in the question
Facts.
to see what's up. Steel or gold?
That's tough, bro. I'm gonna say steel just for daily wear, just to get the most out of it.
Daily wear?
But you gotta respect gold, obviously.
Of course, bro.
Yeah.
When it comes to wearing watches, are you a daily wear or a safe queen?
I wear it everywhere, bro. I wear them to the gym.
I know you don't. I've seen you pull up some crazy.
I saw someone
pieces
post a crazy take on the gym. Like, he said something on a reel. He's like, man, the most low T thing I've ever seen is somebody. It must have been Elevation or something. He's like, someone was wearing their brand new Day-Date yellow gold to the gym.
That might have been you.
The whole comments roasted him though, bro. It's like, come on, we wear it to enjoy it. You know, same with the
course,
car, keeping it
man.
in the garage. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, wear
That's
it.
the worst when someone buys something, bro, and they just garage it.
Yeah.
Like I know some good boys that bought some bikes, bro. I know one of my homies bought Ducati Lamborghini.
Oof.
The new joint.
Oof. Oh,
hasn't
the ones
even-
that's in the showroom at Lambo.
Take it for a ride.
Is that a Ducati?
No, it's
the one that Lambo makes?
Yeah, Ducati Lamborghini,
Damn.
bro.
Okay, I've
Yeah.
always seen them in the showrooms there.
They're out now, bro.
They're sick.
They're everywhere. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
they're
made
sick.
a lot of them too. I was surprised the amount of. They're not like that exclusive as I thought they would be.
Yeah?
Yeah, they're.
How much are they? Bread?
They're 70 grand. Yeah, but the number of them they made, it's not that exclusive.
Wow.
I figured they're gonna go like, you know, like maybe 300 max made.
Oh, it's more than
No,
that?
there's a lot of them, bro. So
Wow.
whatever.
Okay.
When it comes to watch dealers, Miami or New York?
Miami all day, not a question. Anyone who knows anything about watches will say that. No disrespect, I do a lot of business in New York. I want to put that out there. I know it's rapid fire, but I got to throw that out there. I got a lot of respectable deals in New York, but for the most part, you know, Miami has a cleaner name from what I, know of. And
Yeah.
I could only speak for myself, but yeah, Miami.
Yeah, I'm seeing a lot of craziness with the 47th Street, bro. That's a lot
Yeah.
of
Oh, yeah.
crazy. I don't know if it's true. I know in the watch business, you're gonna create a lot of enemies when you start growing. That's normal.
Yeah.
But man, I'm seeing craziness, bro. I don't know if it's true or not, but a lot of these dealers are getting attacked, or it's a lot of shady shit.
Oh,
We'll get into
yeah.
that. Yeah, we'll get into that. One watch everyone should own at least once.
Brand or actual model?
Actual model.
Daytona, stainless steel Daytona. All day, any day of the week.
That's a classic.
If you can't get to that price point, a Submariner black on black.
Vintage or brand new?
New for me. I know some guys appreciate vintage, but I'm more into the modern
There's
stuff.
some vintage freaks, bro.
There is.
Yeah.
There is, like freaks, and it's a niche thing, so you have to know what you're doing. But the thing I've realized with anything, with cars, bikes, guns, this, that, the people who have been through all the new stuff Once they're over that, they go to vintage all day. Classic cars, old school guns.
Yeah.
You know, so.
More stress, buying or selling?
Buying. In my position, buying. Just because you got to make sure you're buying right. You got to make sure
It's scary.
you inspect the watch, and yeah.
For me, if I was a dealer, that would be scary for me.
Yeah, bro.
Buying, you never know, man.
Yeah.
Especially these days, bro. You never know what I don't even know how you do it, bro. If I was a dealer, I would be paranoid 24/7.
For sure. We'll get into that when you want to.
Yeah, of course,
you let me know, but there's like a whole protocol that we take to make sure.
Oh, I got a lot of questions for you when it comes to that alone.
For sure.
Cash or wire?
Wire all day.
Really?
Wire all day. Yeah, bro. Wire all day. I can't tell you how many sales I've lost or complicated on the client's end just because it's like, dude, wire all day. Because cash is, I mean, a lot of times, you know, over a certain limit, you don't really want to mess around with that anyway. I'm doing enough good. My spiel is I'm doing enough good business.
Yeah.
I'm good. You know what I mean? Rather have everything, and just for accounting purposes and just.
It's easier.
It's kosher. It's, you know,
cleaner.
You can do, all day long.
Got you. Favorite restaurant in Miami?
Damn. Favorite restaurant in Miami. I'm such an introvert lately. I just like my house and, you know, just going to work, gym. Favorite restaurant? I don't know, man. Probably, it used to be Komodo, but
it changed.
I like the vibes of Carbone, man. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Or like
Classic
a Cote.
Italian restaurant.
Yeah.
$1 million or million followers?
I never thought I'd say this, but I'm saying 1 million followers because what I've seen in the past year and a half since I started Instagram, you got the followers and you got the brains to put behind it and the hard work, you're turning it into way more than 1 million.
Got you.
Yeah.
Celebrity clients or quiet billionaires?
To be honest with you, quiet billionaires all day long. No disrespect to the celebrities, but quiet billionaires, yeah.
Flip fast or hold long?
I mean, fast.
Flip fast?
Yeah, fast.
Instagram or word of mouth?
Instagram, bro.
Instagram?
Instagram.
It's a power tool.
Yeah,
Especially
it really
lately,
is.
my man, the business, if you don't have it, you're cooked. It's
It
a resume.
really is. You are literally cooked if you don't have it.
You're cooked.
Yeah.
One big client or 10 small ones?
They kind of equal out, but I think one big client. It's a lot easier. You got that trust already established. It's kind of like a let's go type of thing, you know?
And one last question, bro. Lambo or Ferrari?
Damn. You had to do me with
I
that
had
one.
to get you like that, bro.
I'm going to say Lambo. You know, I like them both. I think at one point I will have a Ferrari, but I just think Lambos are more brolic, more beastly, you know what I mean? Just with the pops and crackles and just, I mean, to me, there's nothing that sounds better. You know, people say Lexus LFA, people say 812 Superfast, you know, Porsche, the Carrera, like the 918 Spider or something like that, as far as sounds go. But there's nothing that sounds better to me than a V12.
What's with the hype with the GT3s, bro? It's a beautiful car.
It is.
It's a beautiful, but the hype behind it is wild.
Well, brother, it's a driver's car.
Yeah.
So when you're talking about just trying to flex in Miami and you're hopping in the gym, driving 3 miles to Elevation or Anatomy, and you're taking shitty construction roads, and you're stopping
Miami
at every
roads.
stoplight, you know, you're not really experiencing that. And when you're talking looks, of course, you compare that they've gotten a lot better, but if you compare it next to, you know, a Lambo or a Ferrari or a real exotic, even a McLaren, I don't think looks-wise they really match up with the driving. Like when people take them on tracks and stuff, there's nothing you'd
I see
rather
a
be
lot
in.
of guys take them on tracks.
Yeah.
I
I'm
mean,
serious.
Yeah.
I have some good seat time behind them, and they're like, yeah.
All right, man, let's get into it. So for people that don't know who you are, what's your name? Where were you born? Where you from, brother?
My name is Adam Jacoby. I was born here in Miami, Florida. I am the owner of Ice Timepieces, and we have a store in Aventura, Florida. And I've been here my whole life, brother. I went to college in Tallahassee for a couple years, but then I came back, moved to Brickell.
You grew up in Miami?
Yeah, grew up here, yeah.
Nice.
Lived in Broward area most of my life. When I was like 6 or 7, we moved out from Miami.
To me, it's the same shit, bro, honestly.
What's that?
To me, it's the same shit.
Yeah,
Broward,
yeah. I mean, it's
Miami.
Miami. Yeah.
It's Miami, bro.
South Florida is now called Miami.
Literally, bro.
So-
if you're anywhere south of Boca, to me, you're in Miami, bro.
Yeah, pretty
Legitimate.
much, bro. Because you're like in Pembroke Pines, where I was living. you're what, 30 minutes away from Miami, 30, 40 minutes, and then you're 30, 40 minutes from downtown Fort Lauderdale. So you're like right in between. And when you go out, you go there. And yeah, so.
When and how was Vice Timepieces born?
It was born, so just to take it back real quick, my main profession starting out in the professional world was actually in real estate, brokerage. As an agent, I actually came back from college and immediately got into commercial real estate. And was selling investment properties and dove into that pretty young and pretty quick. A lot of multifamily properties, strip centers, warehouses, anything.
Yeah.
My motto was throw as much, against the wall, what sticks. And, a lot of people specialize in different product categories. Me, I was young. I was like 20 years old, bro.
Yeah.
Selling multi-million-dollar real estate and really obviously the sharkier aspect, which is commercial. And I did well, but honestly, and the money was good, was passionate about it for a bit. But then after a while, the older you get, and then I moved to Brickell, and then I started involving myself with some higher end residential. And then it's like everyone's a realtor down there.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You're losing business to really pretty girls. And,
Yeah, man, of course.
it's a very difficult thing.
People do weird things for sale.
Oh, yeah.
Right? It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's a definitely different business in Miami.
That's
for
a
sure.
whole nother thing. So how that was born, I've been around the jewelry business my whole life. So obviously you know this, but I'll tell it to the audience. My mother and father, they've been in the jewelry industry 42 years now. So yeah.
Pop's been around.
Yeah. So my pops is an actual jeweler, very talented jeweler. He makes custom pieces, does repairs all day long. And my mom is in the business beside him. And she actually is the one who started in the jewelry industry. She was, she started, believe it or not, beading jewelry, like beading necklaces and bracelets. And then she got into silver after that, got herself a little booth in the old Aventura Exchange, which was like one plaza over, and met my dad. And then my dad's like, let's get into gold and then diamonds. And then sure enough, bro, you're sitting there with a serious inventory. So I've been around that my whole life. And funny enough, they always tell me, do your own thing, which I did.
Yeah.
Made a name for myself, did my thing. And then now, as I was even in the business of real estate, I would meet people who knew that my family was in the jewelry industry and would always ask me, can you get me this watch? Can you get me this necklace? Mostly watches is what I would kind of gravitate towards. And then I was selling them kind of part-time. And then COVID hit. And then, bro, everyone was asking me for watches. And then
changed the game,
slowly but surely, and I'm a managing member under my parents, Magic Jewelers, which is their company. So I was helping them out, and I was filling orders for a lot of people. And then I said, you know what, I want to do this. It was right around the time where I was kind of just getting burnt out from that real estate agency stuff. Kind of bouncing around to a couple different, did well, but it just wasn't my thing.
It wasn't you, bro.
It wasn't my thing.
It wasn't you.
I needed my own identity, and I wanted almost like more of a purpose rather than just not to knock any sort of professional in the real estate industry, because real estate is king. My father always told me that real estate is king. I'm more on the principal end of things as far as real estate goes, but it just wasn't my thing. It wasn't my thing. So I decided in order to really take that step and make my own identity, So I have a lease we have an extended booth basically. So we've got two. So they've got the big one in the front, and then I've got the corner there. And I signed my own lease, and I made Vice Timepieces, bro. And coming up with that name was,
It's a dope name too.
Yeah.
The logo is amazing, bro.
Thank
the
you,
marketing behind it, you're killing it.
Thank you.
And I remember, like I said, when I saw you the first time, bro, I went there and I seen the booth, and you had watches, like you had a couple pieces, but it wasn't like it is now, dude. Like I think, bro, your inventory went times 10 since I seen you
For
last
sure.
over there.
For
Legitimately times 10.
For sure. And now more than ever, bro. And it's an interesting thing, and there's a lot of facades and there's a lot of things to interpret, bro, because there's definitely guys that make my inventory look like child's play, right?
But that's with anything, bro.
With anything,
that's with anything.
Right? And comparison is the thief of joy. But I'm saying from an educational kind of standpoint, and also from a perspective standpoint, because you could look at someone's showcase, they got 30, 40 million. They got Richard Mills, special double sealed Pateks, all this big time stuff. But it just goes to show you that I'm taking business from a lot of those guys, bro.
Yeah.
And not in a bad way, but people are gravitating towards me because I think I bring a lot of what the industry lacks, bro. As a matter of fact, I know I do. And that is being genuine, being trustworthy, being honest, making sure I'm selling what I tell you, you know, what we agree that we're getting, you know, for you. So it's yeah.
At what point did you realize, like, when you started, you flipped a couple watches. At what point, like, did you realize, you know, this is it. This is a business for me.
Shortly after COVID, when I started to see the volume, because everybody knows that it's not about like home runs on these pieces. You're talking Rolexes here, man. Like a lot of people have them, right? The same stuff as you. It's how do you stick out and how much volume can you do and keep people coming back and you know, so definitely a little after COVID.
After COVID?
Yeah.
What was the first high-end piece you ever sold? You remember?
Yeah, I remember. It was the very first piece that I sold was a yellow gold Yachtmaster, the original Yachtmaster 40 millimeter. It was yellow gold with a white dial, and I remember I sold it for $15,000.
$15,000.
Yeah.
What do they go for now?
Honestly, bro, those are older models, and it's kind of similar to. I make a lot of comparisons between cars and watches because there's so much similarities. But
the market's very similar.
Yeah.
High-end cars.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, because gold is crazy right now. I don't even remember the last time I was asked about that watch, but I would say probably somewhere around 20 retail, if I had to guess. But it's one of those things like when a car kind of hits the floor and it just chills for a while because it's been out as far as value goes. So
what was the biggest mistake you made that you remember starting out? So someone that's starting out today, they can learn from this.
For sure. I guess the biggest mistake anyone can make when starting out is just trusting, once you're in this network of wholesale dealers and where you're able to get your supply from, which I'm sure we'll touch on a little more, is just thinking that everything's sweet, that everyone's going to give you what they say they're going to give you, and if you bought a new watch, it's really new, or what we like to call unworn. Yeah. So I think that's your biggest mistake, just second guess who you're getting the watch from.
In your opinion, what separates a real watch dealer versus somebody that just posts on Instagram?
Inventory.
Yeah.
You know, listen, there's a lot of people, bro. We call them backpack dealers. There's a lot of people that are basically brokers, bro. They have the influence. They have the followers. They don't have a dime in inventory. They've got no risk. They've got no location. They've got no rent,
I see those
no
a lot
overhead.
Walking around the Diamond District, bro.
They're everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
And some of them are the biggest crooks in the game. But and some of them are great. You know, listen, there's no rule that says you have to have inventory, right? But at the end of the day, it just gives you a little more skin in the game.
Now, the question that everybody wants to know, how do you and other watch dealers, they're in the game, how do you outsource your watches?
Very good question. I get asked that a lot, bro. So we get calls all the time, and I'm gonna do a new segment on IG actually with frequently asked questions, and that's something that you and I had told you when we were just chopping it up on the phone the other day. The way it works is, simply put, let's talk about Rolex and obviously any other major brand like AP, Patek, Richard Mille. All the watches come from a boutique, right? So every Rolex is going to come from a Rolex store. There's no mythical land where people are getting these Rolexes from and this third-party guy with like an anonymous mask on him. No, it doesn't work like that.
Everyone thinks there is someone
exactly,
like
bro. Like,
that's what he looks like.
Like there's some mysterious way that we get him, but no, it's really, bro, just split to two, okay? It's clients that have a high purchase history, right? An extensive purchase history. They've, you know, been dealing with the same salesman or store for many, many years. They've been buying, like a lot of these stores, they sell jewelry too.
Yep.
So the jewelry is where the markup is, right? That's where they're making their margins. Obviously the watches is only so much.
Yeah.
So when you're a good client of jewelry, you get a lot, you know, of good, you know, graces transferred over to your watches that they're allocating you.
How do you, like, I understand they come from Rolex.
Sure.
But let's say you as a third-party dealer, is that how you call it? Like
third-party dealer? Of course.
AD, right? Is that the?
I mean, I think the AD is the authorized dealer, which is a Rolex store. Yep. Okay, and then we are considered the gray market. Honestly,
that's right, the gray market.
I'm not thrilled about that phrase gray market, only because it sounds like gray area, kind of shisty, shady stuff.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is. We're a secondary market. So anything that happens after the original place it was purchased, which is like Rolex or Patek, is secondary, right? So a lot of people also have a misconception that secondary means pre-owned. It doesn't, right? We have unworn watches all the time. we're told not to use the word new because we're not selling it. We're not the authorized dealer. So, the watches are still essentially, in new condition, but they're unworn watches, right? And how we get them is there's two people, as we were discussing. The first is a person who has a relationship and or greases up a salesman, from what I've heard.
So that's usually a dealer a dealer.
No.
Or a customer that will sell to a dealer.
Right? That'll just flip to a dealer, right? Or, there's people, listen, we're across the street from Aventura Mall, right? Yeah. There's an AD in Aventura Mall, and people minutes after getting, you see the receipts, minutes every day, they're coming over to us and offering us pieces that they don't want or they just want to flip. So it's two things.
So you have customers go buy Rolex at the store and come right to you.
We don't have them do that, but customers do that, and they'll just come flip it. Yeah, for sure. But some people have that type of organization. Some people have, there's dealers that have been in the game, bro. It's either coming from a customer or a wholesale dealer, right? So who we get from when we need it on command. So it's a good day when a customer brings us stuff that we could buy for a little bit more appetizing than the on-call price in our dealer network, right? Yeah. Within our group chats or within any wholesale dealer.
But they don't get any shit for that? Like the actual customer? They don't.
If they get caught, they will. But it's it's one of those.
No one cares, bro. It's money.
It's one of those things, and I can only go by what I hear, so I'm not making accusations. But a lot of the salesmen aren't playing fair. Everything's corrupt, right? So, Well, I
was going to get to that question, but I'll ask you now.
Yeah.
Why does Rolex treat their customers like that, brother? Like, I don't understand. I mean, even me, my man, I'm not a big customer. I go to you for watches, like my close friends and stuff. Yeah. I don't go to Rolex purposely for that reason, but I'll go for fun.
Yeah.
And me and my girl, last time we were in the mall, I remember, bro, we walked in, and the guy, my man, he wouldn't even entertain me. Like, he wouldn't even speak to me.
Treat you like a peasant.
Like a peasant. And I could have been someone that's legitimately trying to spend $100,000 in the store.
Yeah.
Right? But no, he wouldn't even offer me nothing. Do you have this in stock? No. What about this? No.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at the guy. I'm looking at the watch in front of me.
Yeah.
So it's like they're
exhibition
there.
Only.
Yeah, exhibit. Yeah. Boy, what does that even mean?
It means it's just there to
show what they look like.
What the watch looks like in person, and they'll take orders on it. But
what's the point of the store then if you can't sell anything?
That's a big debate. And it's why we're doing so much business.
Yeah.
I hate to tell you. And we're always going to do business because even back in the day before demand was this crazy, and you have to also understand, a lot of people don't stop and really understand what happened with the watches. There's a lot of, there's a lot of new eyeballs on watches, man, because of social media. A lot of the young generation, a lot of, people didn't really care about watches, but then the more they see them flaunted, and then the more, I think about it, rappers used to be bust down only.
Yeah.
Now you're hearing the biggest rappers and celebrities, I need to get this plain Jane, this factory set, So they're hopping onto what's valuable, and just kind of the knowledge is out there now. So,
Do you think there's not enough inventory, or they just
inventory's drop? For them?
For everybody.
Yeah, I mean, listen, from what I know, there's a lot of Rolexes produced a year, and AP is less, and Patek is even less than that, but per year. But there's a great demand for it. But even on our market, man, like since the tariffs and since gold prices and silver prices soaring and whatever state of economy we're in now, it's a strong market, and the market is dry. It's not something where, we're in group chats, right? And if we need something, we can kind of throw out a line like, hey guys, I need this and that, with some real vetted in dealers from here to Hong Kong to Dubai, and we can get pieces. And a lot of times prior to the market kind of drying up a bit, you'll have 10, 20 options within the first couple of days. Now you're lucky if you get a few. You know what I mean? So it is a dry market, and they are in demand, and it's tough to get. But with Rolex, I think it's just favoritism, and it's also money talks, bro.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, and then the other side of things from the customers is dealers. Wholesale. In any business, there's wholesale and retail, right? The wholesale guys sell to the retail guys. The retail guys sell to the end client, and it is what it is. Wholesale is known to be a little easier, right? Because you don't have to deal with emotion. You don't have to sell. It's there.
Yeah.
The dealer knows what he's getting. He's going to sell it to the client. He does the emotional work and customer service aspect. But these dealers, some of them have been in the business 20, 30 years, bro. They've made contacts with, ADs everywhere. So they're backdooring them to them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Back to getting inventory, group chats.
yes.
Everybody wants to know how do group chats work. How do you get invited one? Like, how does this work, man?
All right. So with the chats, dude, back in the day, you needed to have contacts and you needed to go to the shows. They have international, watch shows and antique shows and things that you could be members of. And which I am, for example, the International Watch and Jewelry Show. Those are for dealers, and obviously you have exhibitors. Like a bunch of the wholesale guys will set up there, and it's all over the state. But you can't go there if you're a regular
customer.
No, this is for dealers only, and you have to be registered. You have to give your business resale certificate. You have to give all your documents, and you have to pay.
Just to walk in.
Yeah, bro, you have to pay annual memberships. You have to pay entrance fees. And it's a big thing. Yeah, there's
what's the perks of this
hundreds of millions of dollars in one little convention, like a room. Yeah.
Yeah. What's the benefit for you to go there? I guess you meet other dealers, connections. Stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you go there to pick up inventory or to make deals, or if you have sold orders, which a sold order is like, let's say Vito, you wanted a solid gold GMT, right? Yeah. Adam, find me this one, this price. It's done. Get it for me. So that's a sold order. So I'm going to go find it for you, and then I'm going to connect the dots. I'm going to send you the details, send you a photo, and then you say,
on the spot,
let's do it. Then boom, I got a watch. That's another order. Sometimes you can go with 10 sold orders from customers that a customer's been looking for something, but you haven't really found it in the chats. But back to where the chat started, before that, you had to go to these shows. You had to fly to New York and go to the Diamond District for a few days and make some connections and see who has what. Everyone's got different stuff. Like the more you're in the business, the more you know, okay, this guy, don't buy from him if you want something that's going to be true new, or don't buy from him if you have any doubts, or, there's, this guy's got all the ladies pieces. This guy's got all the Pateks and APs and Richard Milles. So you kind of know, but with the group chats, it made it a lot easier for us to acquire inventory.
More accessible, I guess, right?
And to sell. Yeah, way more accessible. Like, exponentially more accessible, because there's no need to travel. There's really no need to go to the watch shows. And I'm speaking for myself.
Yeah.
There's still, in this society of everything going techie, and, there's still a need for human connection and seeing things physically, which is great.
Yeah.
But a lot of times, if we're able to have access at the same prices and we already know what we're getting, a lot of times it's easier to just send a quick text message, make a mazal, which is a deal, and then send a label for next day.
Yeah.
So the group chats are.
Let's say today somebody wants to become a dealer. How does he get into this? So he has to go to a show. I guess he has to start from the bottom, right? You
got to network. Like anything else in life, you have to meet people, and then from there, it kind of
trust.
It's a trickle effect. It's it's all momentum, and you have to get your name out there, and maybe someone will throw you. And there's a lot of chats, right? At the beginning, there was a couple mainstream chats, and there still is a few that are real reputable. Like I'm in one, and the main chat that I'm in a ton, but the main chat that I like and trust, which I think is the most elite, trustworthy, vetted in dealers, it's a serious process, bro. You have to be vetted in by 2 or 3 people that have been in the business 10 plus years. They have to sign off on you. You have an annual membership. There's administrators that make sure there's no foul play or no bullshit. So when a customer's like, oh, well, you don't have it in your inventory, you're sourcing it, how do I know? This is what I tell them. Because, there's no games. Like, dude, if you have a BNIB, which is brand new in box, like complete set, unworn watch, and you need it, and you receive it, and there's a hairline scratch on the ceramic bezel, or there's a chip on the crystal, if they don't remedy that within that chat, they get blacklisted, bro. Like if they don't take the watch back, or they, come to an agreement with, to whatever, settle, that, then, there's big problems for them. And a mazal, which is a huge term that you hear people say a lot, is basically just means a deal. It's like a verbal handshake. And once you say mazal, there's no going back. Like if I made a deal with somebody, hey, mazal, 50,000, whatever, and then I, for whatever reason, don't, you're blacklisted as well. And maybe you could still do business, but for the most part, that will follow you. Dealers will be, there's networks where people can kind of broadcast stuff, and you got to take your name seriously.
I don't know if you remember, but the Rolex that I bought from you, the same one as this one, GMT. Do you remember when we were looking for it? I was on a phone with you, and I remember we found one. We were both like, yes, that's the one. And you messaged the guy, and we mazaled it. Remember, we mazaled it, and
vaguely
something happened, and he f***ed us. And we didn't get the piece. It was like, I think he said, I remember this. He said it was a full, the the box and papers and everything. What's it called? Full set. It was a full set, but then it wasn't because he sent us a wrong card, and you flipped out. I remember that, and then you flipped out, and like, what the fuck? Yeah, I remember that. I think you forgot about it, but that's what happened to us.
Sheesh.
Yeah, and then we got another one.
Bro, it's been so long. No way. So we
got another one.
Bro, you
we got
see,
another one,
and
yeah.
that's a result. Wow, bro. So, I mean, that's a result, and that was a while ago. I think that might have been even before Vice. Honestly,
Yeah, it was before
I think
Vice.
that was
yeah.
before Vice.
It was before Vice when you just started. When you just started.
And it goes to show you, just like everything in life, bro, you could be 30, 40, 50, 60. Nothing's, too late to learn, right? And you're always learning and you're always making more connections. And it goes to show you that once you know who has what and who works a certain way,
Yep.
you kind of know who to avoid and who to steer clear from. But don't get me wrong, when you're looking for a piece and it's out there and all the specs that were described to you match up, you're going to serve your client and make the best, logical choice. If they screw you or send you something that wasn't as described, you deal with it. You know what I mean? And then we kind of maneuver from there. But I'll never let a client have, be liable for any type of stupid shit.
How do you guys deal with the deliveries and stuff, man? You get a watch from New York. Who's responsible for let's say you buy a watch in New York, it gets shipped out, it doesn't show.
So everything we send or receive, okay, we all have commercial shipping platforms, most of us, okay? We also have, every company dealing with high-ticket items should have insurance in place. Okay. But just in the shipping aspect of things, we deal with these companies that basically utilize UPS and FedEx, okay, for priority shipping, and we do next-day air overnight, but it's fully insured. So it's a lot higher insurance than just going to UPS or opening an account with FedEx is ever going to do. So it's a lot of next day air stuff, bro. And, if you lose something, knock on wood,
They'll cover it.
You file a claim and it's an insurance thing. But for the most part, if you do things the way you should, send them to the right places. Like a lot of times we don't like to send to residential addresses. Yeah. Even our shipping, our account managers and stuff, they really tell us try to avoid that, and they even limit the insurance that you can send to residential. So versus a commercial address like an office building or a FedEx location, which is the best. We always recommend sending to a FedEx hold at location, and then the customer picks it up and they show their ID, and it's the first stop that the truck goes to. It's there first thing in the morning, so that's always the best bet.
I see a lot of craziness on Instagram, bro. I don't know if it's true, but is there a lot of scam dealers in the game, you think?
Yeah, there is.
There is?
Yeah.
I'm seeing a lot of craziness. People selling skeleton. I mean, they're not called skeleton. What are they called?
Frankensteins.
Frankensteins, yeah.
Yeah, it's terrible.
What's going on?
Greed, bro. And, I'm not like a Karen. I'm not like a Square. But when it's about doing the right thing, it's like, bro, they let they let greed get to them. And it's a problem in every industry. There's going to be those guys. And
I see Frankenstein cars now and happening. People selling kits and claiming it's a Bravo swipe.
Miami.
Yeah, in Miami, dude, it's crazy. Like, what is going on?
Every G-Wagon you see in Miami is a Mansory or a Brabus.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. But, it's one of those things, bro, that if you know...
How don't they get blacklisted? They're still in the game. A lot of them, I'm not going to mention their names, but I'm seeing people complain, say crazy stuff, and they're still out there.
Yeah, you could even go to their Google reviews. They're public. Like, all the fraud that they're doing, customers put them on blast. Customers come to my showcase every day, bro. I'm not going to say who, obviously, and I respect
of course,
anyone that, especially if I don't know them, because a lot of these guys I've never even done business with, really, because I've heard so much shit about them, right? So, but customers come to my showcase, and listen, there's a couple, Vito, there's 2 to 3 dealers. I'm not even going to say that. There's a couple of dealers that are being brought up almost daily by customers or dealers or this or that. And, people that are telling me, customers are the first to tell you, to use you as a therapist and to tell you how much they've gone through. So they'll tell you everything, right? Yeah. I'm a business, so I have to be careful who or what I say and who I talk about. But, of course, you hear everything from them, and it's screwed up, bro.
Has a dealer or a customer ever tried to scam you?
Has a dealer or a customer? Yeah, of course. I mean, listen, there's times where customers will bring me a watch that has like an aftermarket dial, or a super clone, right? These super clones, and a lot of them can be close, but when you know what you're doing and you're handling things by the thousands, bro, it's to the point.
Which one do you remember that sticks in your head that someone tried to screw you over?
I have one now. I have one in my inventory now that I bought, and the client tried to sell it to me as a fact. It's a date 2.
Okay.
So when you hear date 2, it's the previous date, right? The 41 millimeter, exactly.
One, yeah.
It's a date 2. Those came out with a beautiful factory dial option, which is black, and then it's got baguette hour markers with a ruby at the 6 and the 9.
Okay.
And very beautiful piece, but of course we check everything. He told us, oh, everything's factory with card, whatever, whatever.
I remember telling me this.
And then it's not. So whatever, we still bought it anyway because the guy wanted to sell it, and we paid what we needed to pay. And there's a market. Look, I'm not big on the aftermarket stuff. Aftermarket is a fancy word for fake. That's my opinion. Yeah. Right. And that's really the reality of the situation. Now,
definitely.
In the watch world, right? Because there's aftermarket for the automotive industry and bikes and stuff like Akrapovic is aftermarket, but that's a, well-established brand. So with Rolex, aftermarket is, you're basically just getting a replica, right?
When someone says aftermarket dial.
Yeah, it's fake.
It's a fake dial.
Yeah. So don't get me wrong, I'm not an advocate for that. However, if someone brings me a solid gold Rolex that I could always swap the dial on if I want to, but there's clients that like that stuff. There's clients that want to spend $40,000 versus 65 or 60 or whatever the difference is, because dial can make a huge
But the movement's
increase.
real, I assume.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, we check everything like that, and we would never. The only thing that I'd be okay purchasing and, of course, disclosing. So anytime someone even asks me, hey, Ro, how much do you want for that? The first thing I say is that's an aftermarket dial. Like if I ever have anything aftermarket. And people set diamonds into, into watches and all that stuff. All that's aftermarket. Yeah. But the first thing you have to disclose is, hey, it's custom. It's aftermarket.
But no one ever killed you on a sale or nothing.
No. Thankfully, bro. But you can get burned. You really can if you're caught up in stuff, or you're busy, or you have a lot of people at the showcase. It can get pretty hectic, bro. The jewelry exchange is, it's noisy. You got all the steamers, you got all the customers. It's a big place. It's a lot.
It's crazy.
It's a high pressure industry. Yeah, for sure.
Have you ever turned down a client, even if the money was right?
As of lately, bro, with my workload, in which I'm very thankful for, yes.
You have?
And not so much that like I refuse to work with you, but more so like I made it clear that, listen, you got a lot of negotiating is one thing. Also comparing prices in a respectable, classy manner is another. But like the people that are like just pressing and pressing and pressing and pressing to get something for less, and then they're using somebody's comparable. There's a market for these watches on a new watch, let's just say.
Yeah.
If someone's telling you, oh, I found this Bruce Wayne for, $4,000 less than what you offered it to me. It's like, dude, I offered it to you at retail market value. If anyone's selling you a brand new Bruce Wayne, you have to scratch your head and say, okay, is this
what's
actually
going on here?
When the deal's too good, bro, you got to wonder. Exactly.
Especially in that business.
Exactly.
If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't make sense.
So people like that, it's like, bro, it's kind of just spinning tires, versus people that are like a walk in the park, bro. You give them a price, I'll take it. What's the wire instructions? Send me the invoice. Done.
Yeah.
So save time for those people.
How big of a problem do you think are the fake watches now in the game?
Bro, that's a really good question, and a lot of people ask me that. I don't think they're a problem. Like, for me, look, we're checking everything, and I don't know if you want me to get into how we do things. Please. So the backpack dealers and a lot of these guys that don't have a team assembled, and even people that do, don't really, you see a lot of these, and a lot of them, as we know, and some people have exposed it, are skits like that you see on Instagram, the quick flips and all this crap, which is cool. Like it's all entertainment.
Yeah.
But there's business and then there's entertainment, right? And there's watch dealing, and then there's also just comedy and entertainment and clicks, which is great because that obviously, as we discussed earlier, breeds real business. But when you're doing these quick flips, you don't see these guys going to the watchmaker a lot of the times. You don't see them checking the watch. You just see them making the payment, then selling them to a customer or something like that. Every watch that I touch, whether it's for my inventory or for a client, or even watches that I take in on repair, before I take them in and write a ticket for a customer or whatever the case may be, every single watch gets a thorough inspection. Okay.
Like what? What's the steps?
So the steps are, I have a watchmaker in my building, okay, that obviously only works with wholesalers, like with dealers, on a wholesale level. And
What the f is a watchmaker? That's what I always wonder. This watchmaker. He's not making watches, is he?
No, I mean, listen, a watchmaker is just somebody who works on the watches, somebody who repairs watches, right?
But they mean watchmaker.
Just like a shoemaker, right? Back in the day, they would fix you'd bring in your leather shoe and they would, fix it or recoat it or whatever. The watchmaker is a master in watches and repairing and with movements and they've got all the equipment, which is very expensive equipment, pressure testing machines and time graphing machines that we put everything through. So firstly, he'll inspect it, and of course I have knowledge to inspect it as well, but I always leave it to the experts, right?
That's your insurance.
Yeah, 100%, and it's a cost that comes out of our of our expenses, but it's still very important for us because you want to check every single thing. And it's basically like a full point inspection. So we start from the outside, we inspect the watch under magnification. He looks at the dial and all the details on the dial and the font on the dial and make sure it's not the paint for the letters isn't bleeding or blurry.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that the lines are in the right place, the looms are situated properly, and everything's straightened of Rolex or Patek or whatever. All these
How does he know every
manufactured.
brand? Like, I guess he just studies every brand. Like,
I mean, listen, my
knows?
bread and butter is Rolex, okay? And there's different guys that you'll bring different stuff to. So if I had a Patek or AP, there's a different watchmaker specialist that I would bring stuff to. But typically my bread and butter is Rolex, and what we really stock is Rolex. Of course, we'll stock, the other big brands if we get good deals and we, obviously inspect them. But
I see you got a couple APs on you.
for sure. So he looks at that physically. We'll inspect the warranty card under UV lighting, which Rolex puts some kind of like secret ink on there. So when you turn the lights off, or even, if you throw a UV light on, the ink will show up. And
that cannot be faked, I assume.
Listen, you could fake anything, but you just have to look at as much as you can that will line up, right? Yeah. So a lot of the times a fake one won't have it. And then you're like, okay, this is instantly fake, right? It's a fake car. And a lot of times you could have a real watch with a fake card. These guys, dude, if you can make a real watch, if you can make a fake watch, you can make a fake plastic card.
Yeah.
So main thing is you'll open up the watch and you'll inspect the movement. So you can have a real good looking outside watch, which you'll really have to kind of hold two next to each other if it's that good. But the second you open up the movement, that craftsmanship, bro, is very hard to fake. And that's why, Rolex is Rolex and these brands are what they are because they don't miss a beat. And then we put them on very expensive, specific machines to make sure everything is working up to par. A pressure testing machine to make sure it's airtight and it's waterproof up to the factory specs. We put them on a time graph to make sure the movement's healthy. A time graph is kind of almost like a heart rate monitor, but for watches. So you'll throw the watch on there and it's like a heart rate monitor. You'll see how the watch is running, beat error, amplitude, all that stuff, and then we know it's good to go.
Have you ever felt unsafe doing a deal?
Honestly, no, because I don't put myself in those positions, and and insurance is key, right? You want to make sure.
Just being a dealer in Miami, it can get sketchy, but
sure, but you always got to watch your back anyway in the real world. We're in Florida, so you got to protect yourself. And also, we do business in our store only, bro. Yeah, in our store only, okay? Smart. And that's the way it's going to be, and that's the way it has been. So,
do you move differently, knowing you're
for sure.
You living in Miami?
Yeah, for sure. The amount of times if I'm walking down the street to grab food and Brickell or whatever, like the amount of time I naturally do it. Just kind of look to the side and then get a back view. Look, it's just it's part of being aware. And even if you're not a watch dealer, you should.
Yeah,
there's some crazy people out there, and
brother.
You know what I mean? But
people are too comfortable.
They're too comfortable.
Wearing the little earpods and just walking blindly. They don't understand. Anything can happen at any point of time.
We have it good out here. There's parts of the world, as you know, that are terrible. You can't even bro, I have customers that they love watches and they have a great collection. They don't even get to wear them.
London,
because,
England.
Yeah, dude, you'll get.
They'll cut your hand off.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Yeah, it's sad.
What's the most expensive watch you ever purchased?
The most expensive watch I've ever purchased. That's a good one. Richard Mille, bro. The
Really?
Richard Mille, yeah.
You like them?
I like them. I think they're badass. I think they're like a Ferrari for your wrist, man.
My God.
You know, but
I was gonna ask this later. What is the hype, man? I someone needs to explain this to me because you know how I love watches, bro, and I'm obsessed, but I don't understand the hype behind Richard Mille's. I don't look at that watch on your wrist, brother. You see rose gold, you see the weight.
Yeah.
It's there.
Yeah.
Tell me what I'm missing out. What's
going
on?
You're not wrong, bro. Listen, here's the thing, and this is where the market has changed tremendously, right? So we're going to start by saying that your immediate reaction is very common, but it's because of the fact that most of the RMs lack precious metals or gemstones or, you know.
What do they got?
That's the thing.
Titanium, is it titanium watches?
They come in rose gold, titanium, white gold. I mean, listen, they come in the different materials now, but you could also have one that's NTPT or carbon, essentially, which is a nice fancy version of plastic, you know, or some sort of composite.
It's plastic.
You know, and rubber, right? But the movement is obviously intricate. They're all real nice movements, and everything is high-end watchmaking, but
where's the value? And I know I'm going to get chewed for this 100%.
Desirability. That's it, bro. Desirability and status. Exclusivity, of course. You can, bro, like, if you think it's hard to get a Rolex, go try to get AP, which is even harder. Then go try to get a Patek, even harder than that. But to go get a good RM that's popular and desirable now at MSRP just because you have bread, like, it's not going to happen.
So what's the value? Can you teach me?
The value is just that? And this is how I'm going to tie it in. The Panda Daytona. Why are those in the 30s? I'm selling them brand new for 38,000. You know, listen, right now, as of today, the Pandas are like 37 Gs. Okay. Brand new. Okay. 37.5, depending on who you're, you know,
what's
whatever.
What's the market value for that? Let's say in the store. What's the not market value?
Bro, they're probably like 15 and change after all the increases and whatnot from MSRP. They're probably about 15 and change, 16 out the door. They're going for like more than double retail. So it's a stainless steel piece, right? What's the hype on that? So it's all desirability.
Well, we're talking $150,000, $200,000.
Big money. And there is
some of them. What's the most expensive Richard Mille that there is?
Multi-millions. Yeah, bro, like Jay-Z and Pharrell and Jackie Chan and J Balvin, bro, these guys have crazy, like, ridiculous APs. Canelo has sick
Richard
ones.
Mille specifically. What's the most expensive Richie they ever made?
Multi-millions.
Yeah. No, you gotta be
bro, yeah, there's some that are 2, 3, 4, 5 million. Yeah, for sure. I'll show you some pictures after, but yeah, bro. So it's a big thing, and also, dude, it's almost like, you know, like art or like car collecting. Like, dude, I have a buddy who's got a collection of cars that are multi-million each. You know what? Why should it be? Who knows? But you know, it's the same.
But this is just, it doesn't make sense.
I know
to me, man.
It doesn't. But desirability is everything.
I'm not a dealer. I don't know much about watches like that to speak. I'm just speaking as a customer, as someone that's that someone doesn't know much. But just as a normal consumer of watches, if I'm looking at a car that's worth $2 million, well, it's a car. You know, there's something there. Like, you know, you can touch it. This is like a very light, extremely light watch, and I don't know, bro. I'm lost.
No, I get it, and it takes a while to kind of understand that. But at the end of the day, if there's demand for something, I don't care if you know, have this crazy sandwich that everyone falls in love with out of a food truck, and you decide to charge $100 for this sandwich, and you sell 20 a day, and then once people come late, that's it. They have another chance tomorrow. You have that demand, and it's with anything. If you have the demand and people want it, bro, that price is gonna stick, and it's limited, right?
Yeah,
all the RMs are limited. They're numbered.
36 pieces.
There's 50 pieces, 30 pieces.
Yeah.
You know, so it
depends on the model, of course.
Yeah, bro. And listen, we're in a world now, okay, where it's working perfectly for them because we're in such a superficial society where we have Instagram in our face all the time. All the young generation care about, and honestly, some of these old heads that have fallen into that trap too, is material shit.
Especially Miami, where we live.
Is just showing off to the next person. And people in Miami where we live, dude, I go to one of the biggest influencer gyms where you're tripping over tripods and like, you know, all you see there is YouTubers and OnlyFans girls. And it's quite honestly, bro, the gym is dope. It's atrocious what's happening to society. Society is quite literally corroding.
Yep.
And it's sad because for people who want to have a traditional life and you know have a traditional relationship, a lot of these guys don't. You know, so they want to have kids and it's a really toxic environment. But all they care about is showing off. Some of these guys will share an apartment with 3 dudes. Hey, nothing wrong living with your friends, bro.
God bless, man.
Hey, man, like if you're sharing an apartment with 3 of your buddies and you're doing like some OnlyFans stuff, and then you're, you know, what? No disrespect, but you know, just to drive a freaking Urus, just to drive a Urus to the gym, or a F8 or whatever, you know. And this is all random. I don't have, you know, anybody specific I'm talking about, but I hear different things, and people are compromising their character and their morals just to have these superficial things.
Oh yeah.
So whether it's a car or a richer meal, bro, people are doing it. That's all that matters to them. So as long as that stays that important to people, the price points are going to stay where they're at.
Yeah.
You know.
Do you remember the one that Rolex put out, that watch, stainless steel Tiffany face?
Yeah.
Remember when it came out? It was like $6 million. I remember Jay-Z bought the first one.
That's a Patek.
Sorry, yes, that's a Patek.
The Nautilus,
the Patek, the Nautilus.
Yeah, insane.
My bad, that was a Patek.
Insane.
But the Rolex one also went up in
100%.
Just because
Oyster
of that.
Perpetual was like an $8,000 watch at the time. It was selling for what, like 30. You know, now they're still like around 20 for a 41 millimeter. You know, high teens.
That's insane to me, man. I remember when that came out, and I was like, "How much for that Patek? $6 million?
Insane."
And it wasn't white gold. It was stainless steel, or it was white gold. Do you remember?
Dude, to be honest with you, my knowledge on that particular watch, I want to say it was just a stainless steel collab.
It was a stainless steel, yeah.
I think it was a Tiffany collab, obviously, with the turquoise dial, and I want to say it was stainless steel.
And that thing went down in value big time.
No, sorry, Nautilus. Did it go down? I don't know, bro. I haven't been keeping track of that market. I know people are selling, like the last one I saw was like a couple million.
Yeah,
so
it was like 2 million now. That's
yeah, but
it's still crazy to me.
But also, bro, I think the first one that sold it, and I could be wrong. I can't, you know, be tuned in on everything, but I think the first one sold at auction for $5 million and change or something. Oh, so that okay.
Got it,
so auction, I believe, was $6 million. Different story, the auction, you know, than a real market, right?
Yeah.
So there's different reasons, you know, but man, whatever.
What is the biggest single deal that you ever closed?
Oh man,
money wise,
ever?
Yeah,
obviously, like if we're talking watches, it's different.
Like one deal
in real estate, it's different, right? Because you're selling big, But in watches, probably, bro, maybe 500,000-600,000.
Wow.
Yeah.
One deal.
Yeah. And
that is crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, people really.
How many watches was that?
It could be 5, 6, 7 watches. Yeah. But it's really interesting because when you're exposed to the mass market, you have these people that reach out to you. You've never met a day in your life. I do most of let me be very clear, most of my business. Yes, I'm based in Miami. Yes, we have a brick and mortar location. I do 95% of my business with people I've never met before.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Physically. And that's because of, you know, the power of social media, the power of networking and referrals. I have people that don't live in Miami and live all over the place and, you know, refer me. And
you do a great job with social media, my man.
Thank you, bro. I try to keep it
really
uniform.
Clean, really nice.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just interesting how people surface and you kind of spark up a conversation, and they always, you know, for the most part say, hey man, I like your style. I like how you don't kind of veer out into the BS that all these other people are doing, trying to garner attention by acting or by doing all these skits and stuff. You're just kind of to the point, and you seem like a professional, trustworthy guy. I read your reviews, and I want to do business with you.
Yeah. And you don't pay to hang out with celebrities either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
so it's organic.
It's
you know,
exactly.
It's interesting to see how much money people have to spend on timepieces.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah,
you know, it's really, really cool.
Do you think your clients mostly buy watches for investments or to flex?
So,
or clients period. I'll say clients period
for them. So I guess investments, it could be the three things there, right? Investments for themselves to enjoy, like enjoyment, or to flex, right? So there's kind of a few different reasons, and it's all of them. All of them. You got these guys that'll just buy things to be seen and just buy things for other people, and you got people that are genuinely into horology and just the art of watchmaking and just the beauty of the pieces and the movements and the complications they offer, and people who really will collect. And then you have people that buy them as investments. But the first thing, if the word investment comes out of my client's mouth and they ask me, like, what do I think? Is like, what do you think's a better investment? I instantly halt and I say, listen, I'm always very clear with my take on investing. I'm not selling watches as investments. I'm selling watches as watches, right? To wear them and to enjoy them and whatever you want to do with them, bro. You know, after you get them from me, whatever you want to do with these things is your business. But I am not going to be the one that's going to be like, oh, bro, this is such an investment piece. You have to get this. What I will do is use historical data and value, of what values have been and have shown, and kind of give them a better education of that particular piece. There's pieces that do better than others as far as stability goes and as far as kind of increasing in value. Or, you got to look at the demand and how much of them there were, and is it easy to get? There's a lot of factors, but investing is you got to be very careful. During after 2020, when the market really went up in that bubble, there was a lot of dealers playing that, hey, this is the best investment. You got to get this. This is going to go up. This is going to go up. Man. And then, bro, you have Pateks that people bought for $350,000 that are literally half price.
Yeah.
People taking baths like 150, 200 G's on a watch. It's like, all right,
Yeah. Okay, so I asked you to bring a couple pieces to show everybody, not as an investment, but just some watches that you would recommend somebody buying. I know you love Rolexes, and I know you bought a couple pieces. So could you please just show us a couple pieces that you brought?
Sure, man. Let's check out what I got here first on the wrist, because this is what I think is the best value for the gold Rolexes. This one is a 228235 40 millimeter day date in rose gold, of course, with the olive green dial. This is the 60th anniversary of the president bracelet that they released this dial for, and it's been such a hit for so long.
Yeah, this is so beautiful. This is the best watch ever made.
Yeah, I just think everything, it just works, man. It just works, and it's been, it came out in 2016. It's, damn near 10 years that the watch has been on a run and actually being sold and available from Rolex.
And green is means anniversary, right? If I'm wrong.
Well, the olive green, yeah, they do a lot of anniversary pieces, dials for in green, but the watch aesthetically just hits too, man. There's a lot of newer dials that people are gravitating towards, like a yellow gold with like a more Rolex box coloring. They call it like the money green, or like an ombre which has like the gradient. But I think this is just the classiest piece. This is part of my personal collection, and I'll show you these here. So you said
that case is beautiful too.
Yeah, it's great, right?
Dope case, man.
It's dope, man. Funny enough, for high-end watches, they don't even put like little dividers on it. So if you don't, I put these little hair ties so they don't bump into each other. Yeah, bro. Like if you really, I've had customers tell me that they bought it because it's so cool. They didn't think about the dividers and they took it on like a plane. Yeah. Got to their destination and the side of their watches were all gashed up. That would kill me. So dude, I put a little divider. You can buff
it out, but still, it doesn't matter.
It sucks.
Doesn't matter. Yeah.
You made it very clear as far as stability, like staple pieces. And I think you cannot go wrong with the three I have here. Yeah, I'm going to take them all out. So first,
that case is dope, man. Wow.
First and foremost, I'm going to go with the stainless steel Daytona. Okay, this is king. Daytona, stainless steel Daytonas are king, whether it's white or black, but Panda has a little more steam behind it. And you just cannot go wrong. This is the 116500, so it's the previous reference. It looks very similar to the new style reference. This is my personal piece as well. I'll never sell this. And it's just it's a perfect watch. I mean, I don't remember the last time a new unworn Panda was like under 30 G's. So
Do you like this one better than the old one with the old bezel?
With the metal, yeah.
Yeah, you like it better?
I like this. It's more durable, bro. The everybody knows on the metal bezels for the Daytonas are
scratch,
prone
right?
to getting screwed
Yeah.
up, and they've got this black
breathed
enamel
on
on them.
these scratches.
100%, especially the gold ones.
Yeah.
So the ceramic I love.
Oh, this is such a beautiful watch, man.
Honestly, dude, I wear a lot of the pre-owned watches. It's all my inventory, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the pre-owned stuff that I get before I polish them up and service them and whatnot. If I like them and I want to wear them, I'll wear the watches that I've got. But I find myself just wearing this personal piece all day long.
That's your go-to?
Yeah, it's my go-to. I have a special spot for this watch. So I think there's nothing better. And it's been holding value very, very, very well. It's statistically, aside from off catalog gem set, special pieces, statistically, it's the most sought after watch from Rolex by far.
Really?
Yeah, like it has the longest list, the wait list.
Panda.
The Panda.
Wow.
Yep.
I would think it's a date.
You would think.
Yeah, you would think it's a
think.
date. It's like a most classic Rolex, right?
Yeah, but gold is tricky, bro. People like to steal because of the value and how much over MSRP it is. So if they get it, they know they're good. You know what I mean? You're buying 15, 16 Gs, you're set. That watch is never, you're not going to lose.
You'll never
on
find
it
it with 15, 16 grand.
Yeah.
Forget about that.
So another one I brought, I just thought it was appropriate. So I was going to bring a black sub date, but this is the 116610LV. This is a stainless steel Submariner date with the green dial and green bezel, of course.
Is it the Hulk?
It's the Hulk. This is the 40 millimeter. So the new Submariners are 41 millimeter.
Mm-hmm.
And again, I was going to bring a black one, but I figured, you know what? Let me bring a Hulk because this was discontinued and it's extremely sought after and the values have been really, really strong. And this is an example I have actually in inventory. It's a 2019, bro, in like stupid mint condition. Box papers, everything. So it's a very, very clean
What does
unit.
this go for now? How much would you sell this for?
Bro,
today?
those are about 20. About 20 ballpark, right? A little over 20 depending on year and condition. A little under if it's lacking condition. But yeah, that's
This
a
is beautiful, man.
pristine
This
example.
Is crisp.
Yeah, it is, and it's the good green, and it's
Yeah, the green is so crazy.
solid piece,
There's no scratches on this thing. Nothing.
minty.
This
bro.
is mint.
Mint. Yeah, you don't find. Listen, the subs are, bro. People rock the subs. Those are daily pieces. So a lot of times you'll see them, even if they're polished, the edges get rounded out. Like you could feel, when you really know what you're looking at, you could feel the sharpness of the edges, the sharpness of the bezel. You look at if the crown's been dulled down on the clasp. I mean, there's so many things. But
That you
the
look for in a
condition,
watch.
yeah.
I remember when you taught me about this watch. I remember when the
Triangle, huh?
the triangle,
Yeah.
the yellow triangle. I'm like, well, now I look at it, I'm like, wait a minute, let me see mine.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. That's one little thing that always stuck on my head.
And then last but not least, we have the infamous, let me get this plastic off, the infamous
God.
Bruce Wayne. Bro, you have not, like people who follow my Instagram, they have not heard me shut up about this watch because it is so damn popular. I mean, bro, the amount of these watches, specifically, it comes on Oyster and Jubilee, but the amount of these that I sold in the year of 2025 is insane. And they came out in 2024, but the main traction they caught was in 25, and it literally is the hottest selling stainless steel piece today. Whereas the Panda is popular and sought after, the price point of this is a little more appealing. And this is the 126710 GRNR, GMT Master 2, so like the one you're wearing, but this is in stainless steel.
Yep. I'll show them the difference between the two.
Yeah, it's just it's a good piece, bro. Everything with it works.
So you can see.
And they also make that piece like yours. So you see the bottom half of the bezel is gray. They have a two-tone version of this, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So they have, they call it like the zombie or whatever.
Yeah.
But they also have that, as a new
So it looks like this is just
addition.
two-tone.
It looks just like that with Jubilee. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
With the two-tone bezel. Yep.
And what does that go for now?
This is a little over.
How much would you sell that one for?
This is a little over 20. A
Little
little
over
over 20,000. So brand new, box papers, complete set, dated probably like December or November. I have a few of these in stock. I like to stock these. I sell them like hotcakes,
I can
bro.
imagine, yeah.
And they've just been increasing in value as, you know, since they've came out. So they're very desirable and people love them, bro. And there are watches undeniably so, like this Olive, bro, that even if you're not a watch guy, you see it and you're like, that works. That shit just, the rose and the green, it just goes together. This is one of those things with the Jubilee and the black and gray and the little green accents on it.
And what's the MSRP on that thing?
Right now, you know, it's funny. I don't keep too much track of MSRP because it
matter.
means nothing to us.
It means nothing to anybody.
But of course, I have some knowledge on it. I want to say it's like probably 11 and change out the door, or maybe you're now with the increases since January, you're going to be like 12 and change out the door.
They have an increase in January.
Yeah, they had an increase in January, bro. Rolex increased 7 to 10% on everything. So steel pieces were like I think like 6 to 10% or something like that. So steel was like 6-7%. The gold pieces took like a big increase, maybe 9-10%.
Wow.
They have to keep up with the prices of gold, man.
Is it true that they got an aftermarket, like not aftermarket, but sorry, like a used section in Rolex stores now?
Yeah, that is true. So Rolex has a certified pre-owned division now. So they have that certified pre-owned division, and they have them within a lot of their boutiques now. They rolled it out, I want to say like within the past couple of years, and you know, they do their whole it's like a car with like a CPO, right? They do the oil change, they drain the brake lot, you know, they change the tires. But with the watches, they service it, they change anything they need to, they repair it, and then they offer it with a Rolex, certified pre-owned warranty, which obviously hikes the price up a lot. Of course. So.
Why do certain watches appreciate in value while some just don't? Is it the hype? Someone wore it and then people saw it and then it went up in value, or is it actually just the market? How does this work?
Demand, bro.
Demand?
Everything's demand. Yeah, everything's demand. So, yeah, and also influence. Like you just said, like, bro, there's been times where LeBron has worn a watch and shit just shot up. All of a sudden, you know, Kim Kardashian's rocking those frosted mini APs, and now
you just exploded.
Every bad bee wants one. You know?
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's insane. Influence has a lot to do with it, just like anything, right? You know,
Jacob & Co. I'm not. Honestly, if someone was to ask me off record, on record, I hate the watches. I'm not the biggest fan of them, man. I hate them. I've never found anything amusing in having a roulette table and a watch or something crazy. They made a pretty cool Bugatti one that I saw, but again, it's a toy to me, right? What do you think about them, and do you think they're making a comeback?
He definitely is making a comeback, and it's interesting you asked that, bro. So whereas it's not my cup of tea either, it has its market, and they're very high-end pieces, and they're very intricately made, and it's a total class of its own, bro. And what it is it's art. Yeah, it's not the same as wearing a Rolex or an AP. It's art. This is like, you know, very expensive horological art.
He's been in the game for a long time too.
He's been
around.
He's been around, and he's doing his thing, man. He's plugged in with everyone and anyone, and he's making just really nasty, in a good way, expensive pieces, bro. And you know, with the finest gemstones and the finest craftsmanship and different clever collabs, you know, from Batman to The Godfather to, you know, roulette tables. I mean, bro, he has really crazy. Cool. So it's crazy. It's insane. And they're eccentric pieces, but they're cool to look at. Yeah. You know, so.
What brands do you think are overhyped and which ones are underhyped?
Damn.
Brands.
Damn. So just because I mentioned some of these brands, it doesn't mean I have anything against them. And I love, you know, a lot of these brands. But I will say,
as a fan,
FP Journe, my clients are going to be like, what the? FP Journe is extremely overhyped right now.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's like it's a niche company, and they're beautiful pieces. They're elegant. They're classy. They're very, 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 very limited. They're more of like just to put it in simpler terms, with like the leather strap and like the fancier watches. You know what I mean, like a dress watch. But they're super limited, and like the real deal collectors are going after that now. And
it's like the Rolex. What's it called? The Rolex.
Like a Cellini,
Cellini,
but on like light
crazy
years
level.
away. Yeah.
And what do they go for?
Bro, they could be a few hundred. They could be over $1 million.
No way.
Yeah, I sold a few of them, and like the clients that I've sold them to are very happy where the value is going now because
Really?
it's only getting higher. They're so limited, bro, and everything like we discussed. If it's limited and there's people want it,
People pay for it. There's always a buyer for everything, man.
And then
Underhyped.
this is a hot take, but AP is dope. There are some really, really cool pieces. I think Rolex is king and it'll always be king, but the hype behind AP, like guys would rather drop 40, 50K on a stainless steel date just of an AP, right? A Royal Oak, which just has a date function, that's a date just, right? It's just the date.
Yeah.
Right? So, dude, brand new, those are like 50 G's, give or take, ballpark, depending on the dial and stuff, right? Up and down. But people would rather do that than buy a $50,000 solid gold Rolex.
Yeah.
You know? So I think there's a lot of hype behind it and a lot of influence that drives it. But I like them all. Like I see the coolness in all of them.
Mm-hmm. What's your favorite model watch ever made?
That's such a good question.
If you had to pick one, what would be your favorite piece that you could wear for the rest of your life?
For the rest, damn, that's crazy. Bro, the one that always pops into my head, which is so weird because I never owned it and I will one day. It's been discontinued recently. It's a stainless steel Patek Philippe. It's a Nautilus, and it's called a 5712A. And it's got a beautiful dial. It's got great complications, and it's a very sought after watch. It's not cheap. It's in the hundreds for a stainless steel piece. But I think that is like always been something that I'm gravitating towards. And then of course there's Richard Milles that I love. Like just I have a thing for him. Yeah, some of them are just super cool.
I'll never understand, brother. I will never understand the hype behind. But again, that's just me, my personal preference. I'm just a customer.
But for me,
if I understood maybe the mechanism behind it,
Sure.
maybe I would feel different.
Sure.
But I just don't get it, man.
I'll tell you the truth. To wear for the second part of your question was to wear for the rest of your life. Panda Daytona.
Panda.
Like, dude,
Over that on your wrist.
yeah, for sure. For the rest of my life, bro. That like when I see, it's like when you see somebody wearing a stainless steel Daytona Panda, it's like, first of all, you already know he's got other watches. And if he doesn't, okay, he has a really good selection, but it's just one of those watches that give you enough skin to go. So for example, if you're a watch dealer and you're wearing a Datejust, like for example, my first watch was a Datejust 2. I'll never sell the watch because it's sentimental to me.
Me too.
At the time, it was $6,800, brand new, bro. It's a Datejust 2 with a charcoal Roman dial. My parents bought it for me as a congratulations. I'll never sell it. My parents bought it for me as a congratulations gift to the real estate business when I really got things rolling and I got my first few listings. And they're like, dude, you're taking this seriously. This is a huge thing. We know you. I went with my dad to the antique show, one of the jewelry shows, probably the International Jewelry Show in the Miami Beach Convention Center. And for some reason, that specific watch stuck out to me, and I was like, I love that one.
Yeah.
And they surprised me with it for my birthday. I think it might have been like my 19th, 20th birthday. And so I'll never get rid of that, but I'll never wear it.
Yeah.
Maybe I will on certain special occasions, but like if you're wearing...
Yeah, with your collection, it's hard.
It's like trying to sell exotic cars, bro, and you're pulling up in... a 3 Series, pre-owned. It's one of those things. Nothing wrong with the 3 Series, and it's going to get you from point A to B, and it is suitable for you. But when you got a Daytona on, when you're wearing a GMT, when you're wearing even a Submariner, bro, you got some...
Yeah, but with your collection, it's hard to put a Datejust on your wrist.
Yeah, bro.
Right? You have a crazy collection. My first watch was Datejust 2 as well, the blue face.
The blue face, okay. With the Romans?
Yeah, with the Romans.
Yeah, beautiful.
I love that watch.
It's still they're beautiful watches.
Yeah, I'll still wear mine because I love it. Like that's my first watch. I love it to death. Even though obviously this is a little bit better, but not the craziest step up, but it's still a little bit better of a watch than...
Guys that aren't big like into the watch world though, bro, they don't see it like that. Like I sell Datejust to people, bro, who have bread, who are running businesses, who have multiple watches. So it's just more from a dealer perspective that... Because what is a Datejust?
Yeah.
You can refer to it as, okay, an entry level, an Oyster Perpetual or a Datejust. So, with trying to sell watches and kind of being an expert in the game, you want to have something that at least just kind of brags a little bit. But Datejusts are great, bro. The Wimbledon,
I was going to say, the Wimbledon's a beautiful watch.
That is The Wimbledon on Jubilee, full stainless steel, and of course they look great in two-tone. Bro, incredible
nice
piece. I would even wear it. I was just telling my buddy, I can't wait to get another pre-owned one because I'm going to start rocking it. It's just such a good-looking watch.
It's a classic
I'll never
piece,
wear the new watches that we get, and I always have them new because the price point between new and pre-owned are so close on the desirable pieces that like a lot of times the customers now are just like, dude, for the extra 1,000 or 2, I'm just going to get new.
Yeah.
You know, so.
How do you feel about two-tone watches?
Bro.
I love them. They just I love the two-tone. This one.
Oh, I'm answering all your questions honestly.
Yeah.
And GMT, you can't go wrong. Daytona, you can't go wrong. Two-tone subs, I'm not a fan of. The bluesy, you can get away, like, bro, that's classic. That's like Miami, bro. Like, you know, some narco shit. But two-tone watches over. I don't like things, and the market doesn't like things that don't hold value.
So two-tone doesn't hold value.
They're not as desirable, bro. What happened now is everyone wants either steel or they want gold, and or platinum, you know. But so they're not as desirable now. With classic, timeless pieces like that, they're always going to be around, and they're always going to be a pretty stable value.
Yeah.
But overall, like, if you're talking, let's just say a Daytona, I'd for sure rather take a stainless steel Daytona over a two-tone Daytona.
I'm sure you've seen, this is totally, we're going to go a whole different way now. I'm sure you've seen what happened with Trax. Right?
You bitch!
Do you think he overreacted? Like, or do you think he was right in the situation? Because, okay, look, I've seen what he posted. I'm a big fan of Trax. He's crazy. He's entertaining.
Yeah, he's great.
But I seen he posted the invoice, right? It said Akai on the invoice. So, but he's saying they impersonated his company.
So here's the deal.
Yeah.
Here's the deal with that. There's a lot to unpack there. Now, firstly, do I think he and I'll explain the whole invoice thing because so did he overreact? That's his MO, bro. He's like out there and from what I see, I don't know him personally. I do know a lot of these guys personally, but I never had a chance to meet him or do business with him. He's kind of does his own thing, and he's big in jewelry.
He's more a jeweler than a watch, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
And he's a very, very clever guy, man. And looking from the outside in, you have to respect what he's doing because he's like a pioneer of the game, bro, with social media and jewelry and the pieces he makes and the custom stuff that he does. Is it overreacting? I don't think it's for us to judge if it's overreacting, and I'll tell you why. Because when somebody's involved, not only scamming people under your same roof, but involving your name to help that scam, bro.
But the invoice said Akai.
Here's the deal. You're in a jewelry exchange, right?
Yeah.
Let's just say Vice Timepieces is mad famous now. I have 500,000 followers. Let's fast forward a few years from now, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know how we're situated. It's a jeweler's exchange. So just like that in 47th Street, there's a bunch of little locations that have multi-businesses, right? So fans come in from online or from your website or from your Instagram, and they go to the lady across from Vice, and they say, "Hey, I'm here for Vice Timepieces," and they sell watches too. And they said, "Don't worry, that's us. You want to see?"
That's what happened essentially.
So that's from what I understand. That's what happened. That they're claiming affiliation with them, and using his name to sell a piece. The guy came in from online. He said, "Hey, his Trax here," and then he started showing them stuff, acting like he was part of the company. And a lot of these customers, they don't know how the exchange works, bro.
Yeah.
So they don't know that there's multiple businesses.
Yeah, they'll think it's one thing. Some of them don't even know how it works.
A lot of people think that it's one thing.
Yeah.
That's why we have a great benefit being in the front. The people closest to the front door get a lot of the people who are
you have a great location
stuff
in there. As soon as you walk in, you're right there. Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's incredible.
I don't know if you saw what happened with TPT and Drake.
Damn.
You seen that? I guess Drake dropped
from
Richard Mille and wouldn't pay for the repair.
From what I understand, I think he
that's kind of crazy, man. That is kind of crazy. Again, we're not gonna talk about Drake, and we don't even know what the situation really is. But just looking at it from the side, that's very wrong.
No, my hat off to Neil. Hat off to Neil. I've done business with him and Sean multiple times, and I know them. And Neil is a very fair person.
Yeah,
and I don't know the ins and outs.
He seems like a very fair person.
Yeah, he is, and they're doing good business, bro. They drove that business, man. All the way up. But I respect his stance on it. I don't know the situation, the ins and outs of it, but if that is the case, I respect it to the max, because it's like, dude, you know,
Just
you're
because
not
you're
here to be
celebrity.
walked all over.
Yeah.
Exactly, because you're a celebrity that you should eat 30K, when I bet you most probably he took care of him nasty on the piece.
Oh,
If he sold it to a retail customer, he would sell it way more. You think a lot of these people think because you're selling to a celebrity, you're going to get more out of it. No, bro. A lot of times they expect the most, and you have to sell for nothing
Yep.
just to get that exposure, because it'll pay off, right? You're
Yep.
selling with Drake.
That's
Now
how they
all the other
think.
guys want to
I'm giving
come.
you back fame. 'Cause
Facts.
You sold me
Exactly.
the watch.
So I respect his stance, bro, and what he did was dope, man. And you know, it might have burned a bridge, but at the end of the day, you know, you got to stick to your principles, man. He's doing
Yeah.
enough business where you know, it might have
doesn't need
been
Drake.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I think. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
in my experience, bro, there's been great experiences that I've had with celebrities and athletes, but there's been terrible experiences. A lot of times they don't respect you, they don't answer you, they blow you off, they expect the world of you, and they don't do anything in return. So I'd rather sometimes, like you said in the beginning, deal with like a silent billionaire than a celebrity.
Yeah.
You know, who's going to respect your time and to be easy. And
Yeah.
these guys think that, you know, a lot of them think that the world is owed to them, that we should kiss their feet. And we're running a business too.
Fuck
so,
that.
Yeah.
Speaking of celebrities, I've seen you work with what's his name, Barry Stock.
Yeah.
How was that?
Do you know that band?
Yeah, I've seen you post on it, then I looked into them. I know these songs.
The songs,
but I
yeah.
didn't know the band. I'm not into that kind of music, but I respect it. And I've seen you work with them. How did that happen?
It was insane, bro. And it was so cool. So side story, I played guitar since I'm like 12. I love electric guitar. I actually just picked it up probably in the past year or so, got some cool new guitars, and it's cool now because when I was younger, I couldn't really get everything I wanted. I remember my grandma bought me the coolest guitar, and it was like the highlight of my childhood. But and I sold it like an idiot when I needed to like sell stuff on Craigslist for who knows what. But rest in peace. Yeah, that was awesome. But I'm getting like a bunch of cool guitars, collectible pieces, and it's just fun for me. So it was so crazy that like after I got back up into the guitar thing, I see Barry Stock followed me, and you see the blue check mark. And obviously, like anyone can have blue check marks now, but when I see the blue check marks come in, sometimes it's interesting to check who it is. Because, dude, I'll get a lot of bro. I can't even tell you now, and I'm humbly saying this, like, dude, I have so many NFL players, so many FIFA players, so many, random actors and singers and people from South America that are famous. There's this guy from Japan that has like 2 million followers that like my girlfriend's younger sister is like, oh my gosh, no way. I don't even know who he is, but it's super cool, the exposure it gives you. But to touch on Barry, he just followed me randomly, and he was always showing love on all my videos. And, it started kind of like with a flame emoji, or this one's dope, this one's dope. And then one day he's like, man, I'm going to hit you up I think I want to get an AP. I have a few Rolexes. And then long story short, he messaged me again, and I said, bro, feel free to call me. I'm happy to take care of you. We chopped it up on a phone call, and he was the coolest, most down-to-earth guy, like nothing like, these celebrities who think, and rock genre tends to be a little easier to deal with and a little more humble people than the hip hop world, who think that they're just the coolest people ever. Not to say that there's not cool ones, but yeah, and he was just super cool. And he got a AP Royal Oak, a super dope mint condition 15500 ST for himself, and a Tiffany dial Oyster Perpetual for his wife, ladies piece. And it was just amazing, bro, because I grew up listening to that music. They're mainstream, so like even if you're not into rock, you've heard their songs, right? And there's so many of them.
I didn't know who they were, but I heard the songs.
Yes, and there's so many of them, and yeah, it was
That's
like
cool.
a full circle moment, because we've always dreamt of doing important stuff, and it makes it really puts the why into what you break in your back every day. It was so cool.
God bless you, buddy. That's amazing.
So cool. Thank you, man.
And one last thing for all the people watching, if they want to get a hold of you and buy some pieces, how did they get a hold of you? Where you at?
Vice Timepieces on Instagram, and my direct phone number, man, 305-310-9248. We get a ton of DMs at this point, and I know like right now I have like 12.2, 12.3 followers, and it's
What's
still
the best way to get a hold of you?
phone call, bro.
Phone call?
If somebody's seriously interested, call me direct, and I'm always happy to help. If I don't answer, I'll call back at my soonest convenience. But phone calls, because DMs can pile up, and a lot of people are just kind of like price. That's another thing. People always say, why don't you put the price? Why don't you put the price? But for many reasons, you know.
Yeah.
But if someone's interested, they can call me. I'll tell them
me a
the
call.
price in 2 seconds, and we'll take care of you.
My man. Adam, thank you so much, bro, for today. Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you, man.
I'll see you soon, bro. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.